Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome to my final prep for the UCL Season 1. I, of course, am PokeaimMD, coach of the Bronx Beartics, and we are taking on Dan and the St. Louis Rampardos in the finals. Now, first off, I want to say two things. One, I'm tired, so I apologize if my voice sounds like... and two, I have a little bit of my nose is a little clogged. I have a little bit of a cold. You might have found that disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be honest. So, I do have to breathe through my mouth, which is a little bit annoying. I mean, obviously, we have our mouths to breathe, but I prefer breathing through my nose. That way, I don't sound like. But, in any case, I'll put some music to drown that out regardless. But in any case, we're taking on Dan and the St. Louis Rampardos. If you guys were not paying attention to the regular season, I took them on, I believe, in week 10. On week 10, maybe? Might have been week 9, might have been week 11, but I'm pretty sure it was week 10. I took on Dan, and we lost to him. So this is sort of the revenge match, and I took a lot. I learned a lot from that battle. I always say you learn more from a loss than a win, just because you can analyze the game, you can see what you did wrong, you can prep differently, and you also get a feel of how your opponent likes to play. So contrary to my playstyle, or opposite of my playstyle from the first game, I'm actually running full-on offense this time. And I'll explain why. Now, this week I actually built with my boy Jambat, so I want to give him a huge shout out for helping me out in the final week. And I also want to give Blue a shout out. She helped me test, and this is actually the first time that I've ever tested at all throughout the season. We'll go in more detail of the team, but I actually made a potential team for Dan, and she played me with it. So as you can see right there, I have like Dan's potential team, and then of course I have my team right here. But if you're new to these team prep videos, I try to make it with my friend, of course, that my team of 6 can take on any combination that Dan wants to bring. Though in this one, I was more certain of what Pokemon he would bring just based on what he brought the first time, and just based on watching his games throughout the entire season. You know, I did some scouting. And yeah, so in either case, let's actually go right into the team. Now, the first battle versus Dan, I was really hesitant on bringing. Let me actually just edit this a little bit so it's not all the way there. But I was really hesitant on bringing Spikes. Now, even though Spikes helped me a lot versus Dan, or they would have helped me a lot versus Dan, I was really scared of it because he did have Crobat as a defogger. But looking more and more into it and thinking about it, the reason he didn't bring Crobat the first time was because, I mean, I have Rhydon, I have Fabio, which is my Mega Ampharos. I also have, I was about to say Rhydon again, but yeah, Rhydon's so good that's twice. But I also have just a few Pokemon on my team in general that can deal with Crobat. Specifically Weavile, Mega Ampharos, and Rhydon. They can all deal with Crobat. So it made sense to me why he didn't bring Crobat the first time. So I decided, let me change it up. I'm going to bring Spikes this time. I think Spikes help a lot. They help me with potential kills from Manaphy as well as Weavile. And I decided to bring Accelgor as my first Pokemon. So, and you know, Accelgor will actually be my lead no matter what he chooses anyway. But we brought my Accelgor this time, and we're running the standard spiking set. Spikes, Final Gambit, and Encore, but we did change it up. I'm running Knockoff over Bug Buzz. Knockoff is nice because Dan loves his Assault Vest. He loves his Assault Vest, so if he brings Golurk, I'll knock it off, and that puts it in KO range of like Grass Knot from my Tornadus. You know, spoilers, I do have Grass Knot on it. And we just ran enough speed to outspeed Crobat by 1 point. Max HP, that way our Final Gambit can, if I need to, you know, get rid of one of his members on his team, I can just Final Gambit it. One of his few Pokemon that can actually live my Final Gambit besides Crobat, I believe, because Crobat has more HP than Accelgor, if I'm not mistaken. Is also Vaporeon, so I'll probably just try and spike up on Vaporeon. I have Encore because I didn't bring it the last few battles whenever I brought this thing, just because I knew that a lot of people would predict it, and because I didn't bring it the last few battles, I figured this is the battle where it counts most, and I don't want to regret not having Encore on this thing. And just choosing differently. But I brought Knockoff because Dan loves his Assault Vest. Getting rid of Vaporeon's item, getting rid of a potential Conkeldurr's Assault Vest, getting rid of Golurk's Assault Vest, getting rid of potential Raikou Assault Vest, great. Works out for me. It means Manaphy has less switch-ins, it means Reuniclus has less switch-ins, and things like that. So, the next Pokemon that I have on my team is actually my Dugtrio. This works really well. My Jamvads, this works really well with spikes. Dugtrio is my go-to Raikou trapper. It also has Stealth Rock, it also has Memento, it also has Sucker Punch. Now, I have Earthquake and Sucker Punch because Earthquake plus Sucker Punch after Spike from Accelgor can knock out Metagross 100%. I believe this is supposed to be kept. Earthquake and Sucker Punch can knock out Metagross 100%, but this isn't to trap Metagross. I do have a Focus Sash. The reason I see it is because, okay, if he brings Defog, then I'll pressure him to Defog by setting up spikes, and then my Focus Sash will be intact. And if he doesn't bring Stealth Rock or doesn't go for Stealth Rock, I can trap Raikou. Either way, I can trap Raikou, because even if he Scarf Raikou, which is something I could very well see him running, it does not knock me out after rocks. It is a roll with hidden power, either grass or ice. It doesn't knock me out though after rocks. It's a roll. It's definitely a roll, but I have a chance to live it, and I actually have enough HP on this thing. That way I can live Bullet Punch after 2 Stealth Rock switch-ins if need be. I'm pretty sure that's why I have my defense investment. But basically, this thing's goal isn't even to get up rocks, just to trap Raikou. Just to trap Raikou. It has potential to late game sweep Dan if I do get up enough spikes, especially if his team is grounded. It also has the potential to save me from a shell smashing Amistar, because my Focus Sash, if it is intact, I can live its hit and knock it out with the Earthquake. And I definitely want to bring Dugtrio just because I left it last time. I believe I left Dugtrio last time. But I definitely want to bring my Jam Badge this time because I am running offense, and if I trap Raikou, Manaphy can just sweep him. Honestly, Manaphy can sweep him if I trap Raikou. Raikou is like his only way of dealing with it, besides his Assault Vest users, which I feel like my Manaphy can overpower. So, next Pokemon on my team is Big Bird, my Tornadus, my Torn T. Big Torn. Big Bird. But the set we are running is just enough speed to outspeed his Raikou by like a point. Max HP, there's no point in going to 44, which would be the equivalent of 248, and have like a negative number, because Torn has Regenerator, so it's going to be recovering anyway, so I don't really care about switching into Stealth Rock X amount of times. And Rest was pumped into Special Attack. I'll tell why, because I have Grass Knot, and Grass Knot 100%. It does like 95% minimum to Amistar, and Amistar is actually a legitimate threat. And that's why I wanted to run Grass Knot on this, because I wanted to make sure that he cannot set up with his Amistar on anything. I do have Unburdened, so if Amistar wants to Shell Smash up, I can Encore him. I'm pretty sure I will be able to outspeed Amistar if it Shell Smashes. I could be wrong, however, I could live any hit, and I can just Encore him into a hit, into an attack. He brings me to my Unburden. I can even get up a Spike. I can knock off to break a potential Focus Sash. So I just wanted to make sure that my entire team could hit Amistar for at least some sort of damage, and put it in range of like priority, stuff like that. So I put Grass Knot on this. U-turn and knock off, pretty much staples. Get rid of his Assault Vest, give me some momentum. And then Hurricane, also pumping the Special Attack is nice, because his resistances to Hurricane consist of Raikou, which I don't mind being weakened, obviously, because that helps Manaphy, the captain of the Bronx Beartics, and also that would be his Mega Metagross, which again, I don't mind being weakened, and I'll say why later. But that's why I have Torn. Torn is only there really for his Hydreigon. That's honestly all it's there for. If he doesn't bring Hydreigon, I'll probably play Torn more recklessly, I guess, just because I don't care as much about it. I'll be sending it in. This is like my go-to Pokemon, especially if he doesn't bring Hydreigon. I'm thinking he might bring Hydreigon. I'm thinking he might also have Head Smash on it. Definitely a chance. It's something that I was fearing in the first battle that we ended up having, which is why I didn't bring Torn, but I decided that Torn would be good just for checking Scarf Hydreigon. That's all it's there for, checking Scarf Hydreigon. Next up, we have the captain of the Bronx Beartics, my boy. Well, not really a boy, no gender, no judge though. My boy Manaphy, I'm gonna say that anyway. Manaphy just has potential to sweep him. I gave it enough speed for Modest Hydreigon, because I don't think he'd be running a Timid Hydreigon. There's no point, because Manaphy does outspeed it. And I gave her Modest just in case if he did run a Scarf Hydreigon, it would be like a plus Special Attack Nature, or a plus Attack Nature if he was running like Head Smash or something. But I gave it Tail Glow, Energy Ball, Scald, and Dazzling Gleam. Max Special Attack, because after 3 layers of Spike, I can, or even after a bit of prior damage, I can OHKO Conkeldurr with +3 Dazzling Gleam. Scald, because I don't want to get frozen this time. That's honestly it. Also, it's just a great move to spam, especially versus his Pokemon. His resistance to water consists of Vaporeon, which can absorb an attack because of Water Absorb, and of course Tangrowth, which I would not mind burning. And then of course he does have Hydreigon again, which I would not mind burning. I can knock it out with the Dazzling Gleam 100%. Dazzling Gleam is just there because it deals with Hydreigon as well as Conkeldurr. I was debating Ice Beam. Jamma was talking to me about Ice Beam, but I was like, nah, I don't think Tangrowth is that much of an issue. I have Weavile, I have Reuniclus, I have Big Bird. I don't think Tangrowth is that much of an issue to my team. I also have a Accelgor to scare it out, so I decided on Dazzling Gleam, and then Energy Ball is just there to hit the Vaporeon. It also hits, I guess, Almastar, but Scald's going to do a lot anyway. But essentially the rest was just pumped into HP just to give me that bulk. I wanted to bring a sweeping Manaphy. Manaphy has a lot of potential, especially with my Jam Vets, my Dugtrio. If it does trap Raikou, Manaphy just has a lot of potential to win. It has a lot of potential just to go in on his team and just burn him and hurt his team. So next member of my team that I brought last time, but hard body. I brought last time, but I wasn't too sure. I didn't bring the same set as last time. Last time I brought a Life Orb offensive set. This time we are running Bolt, Max Defense, Max HP, Calm Mind, Signal Beam, Psyshock, and Recover. This is a great win condition versus his team. Last time his way of dealing with this was literally Mega Metagross and an Assault Vest Golurk, which is really easy to wear down with the hazards. With all my Pokemon being able to hit Golurk for essentially super effective damage, it's really easy to wear down. This thing has a lot of potential to sweep. If he does bring Scarf Hydreigon, this can straight up sweep him if he locks himself in the Dark Pulse, because after Calm Mind, it's not going to do too much. Plus 2 Signal Beam Oko's Hydreigon, 100% after Stealth Rock, and it also has a chance to before Stealth Rock. I brought Signal Beam over Focus Splash or Shadow Ball because I wanted to be able to hit not only Hydreigon, but also Metagross for at least some damage, for a bit more. Obviously, Focus Splash would do both, but then I would have to play around the potential of getting one paralyzed by Thunder Wave or Thunderbolt or Thunder Punch. Any of those are all options. Thunder Punch on Metagross, Thunder Wave on Mesprit, a Thunderbolt para from Raikou's Thunderbolt, but this has a lot of potential to sweep him. This also beats Calm Mind Raikou just because it hits it on the physical side with Psyshock as it boosts, and it just gives me all that bulk that I needed. And this is also my go-to Conkeldurr check. Knockoff only does about 44%. Once I recover that and I've already lost my item, it'll be doing a lot less. And again, it just has a lot of potential to win and beat his team. It beats a potential Calm Mind, Aromatisse, and it just beats Crobat easily, and it also beats Assault Vest Tangrowth, because Signal Beam and Psyshock will be doing a lot. Tangrowth can't do much to me, so I definitely wanted Reuniclus. It is a win condition. It is a Pokemon that can definitely damage his team, and it just gives me that Conkeldurr switch, and also a Status Absorber, which I think is very important, especially when facing Dan, just because he has a lot of Pokemon. I'm not trying to take a jab at him for freezing me in the cage lock as well as in the final battle, but mainly because he has a lot of Pokemon that can status Vaporeon, Scald, Burns, and like I said, potential Toxics, Thunderbolt, Paras, Thunder Wave is always an option. And the last Pokemon on my team is my Weavile, Zeph. Now, last time we actually brought Counter Sash. This time we're going to be taking a page from Nip's book, who was actually the only person who ever beat Dan in the regular season. Dan went 14-1. We're using Babiri Berry, Weavile with Knockoff, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Foul Play. This has enough speed for Raikou, so I do outspeed Raikou by 1 point. Foul Play, after 1 spike, Oko's Mega Metagross. I think it's also a roll. If I have 2 spikes up, I 100% Oko him. It does a lot more than Knockoff. If Weavile is out and all of his Pokemon are low, if Weavile is out versus Metagross, he has to Bullet Punch, because Weavile just hurts his team. Like I said, Dan loves his Assault Vest. Icicle Crash is going to do some damage, especially to Conkeldurr. And with my investment, I take 53, I believe, max from Bullet Punch. I think it's 49 to 56, maybe. Around that roll. Maybe 56 is the max I take. But Foul Play with Oko, Metagross, which basically means that Reuniclus can win the game, and Manaphy can win the game. Mega Metagross is one of the few ways that he has of really dealing with those Pokemon by spamming Meteor Mashes, which is kind of scary, but obviously I do have these to take it. This can take a hit. And yeah, just knock off Ice Shard, just checks a Scarf Hydreigon, as well as doing damage to Crobat. Also can check an Almastar if it does Shell Smash up and it's brought down to its Focus Sash. And I can check with Ice Shard, unless Icicle Crash just does the most damage to Crobat, to Tangrowth, to Hydreigon. It just does damage to him on switches, especially because he doesn't have a really reliable way of recoveries outside of like a Healing Wish Mesprit and like Wish from either Aromatisse or Vaporeon, which take an extra turn. So that's why I ended up bringing this Weavile. I'm thinking this Weavile will be able to help me a lot. My main way of getting rid of Raikou will be Dugtrio. My main way of getting rid of Metagross will be Weavile, but the spikes would just be pressuring his team, and I really wanted to bring offense this time. It's my comfort zone. I feel I love balance. Balance is like my favorite playstyle actually of all time. And then, you know, next comes offense. But versus Dan, when I feel like he has the matchup with Mega Metagross being so scary, I don't want to be on the defensive side of things. And this is actually bulky offense. This wouldn't be full out offense, bulky offense. But I don't want to be on the defensive side of things and lose because he's getting attack raises, he's getting crits. I'd rather be able to outspeed his Pokemon and hit him hard, trap his members, and go for a Manaphy sweep. So that's the game plan right there, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the regular season, honestly. I can tell you right now, I'm going to be tired when I narrate the the battle, because or when I live commentate the battle, just because I have to play him in the morning. But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you for supporting the Bronx Beartics thus far, and yeah, guys, that's it. Later. Really quick, my bad. One last thing. I actually, like I said, I tested with Blue, and I made Dan's potential team, like an Assault Vest, Conkeldurr, Scarf Hydreigon. Again, Head Smash is always an option over maybe like Fire Blast. Head Smash is always an option here if he does want to bring it. Mega Metagross is the same one he brought last time, but he can run Thunder Punch, he can run Ice Punch to hit Fabio as well as that. And AV Raikou. This is a set he brought last time. I don't think he has to bring AV Raikou. He can bring Calm Mind Shed Shell, which could be an issue. But obviously, if I burn that with Manaphy, it's not that big of a deal. And Vaporeon, he loves Baton Pass. He loves Baton Pass. And I'm pretty sure he'll bring Heobo and Scald and Wish. So I think this is a Vaporeon set. And then Assault Vest Golurk, because it stops him from losing to Fabio. So I just wanted to go over the team that I made to prep versus him. And that Blue ended up helping me testing. So I want to give her another shout out. And thank you once again, Jambat, for helping me out. And that's it, guys. So let's see how we do. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, it will be up, I believe. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Saturday. No, this goes on Friday. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, this will be, you guys will be seeing the finals. So yeah, later, guys.